I'm Debbie Taylor with WorkingMomLifeline.com, and this is our Just A Quickie segment with the fun and fabulous Julie Curtis. Julie has written for a handful of television shows, including Good Morning America, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, other sitcoms, magazines, and newspapers. You can find out more about her at writerblocked.com. That's www.writer, WRITERBLOCKED.com. Thanks for being with us today, Julie.
Thanks for having me, Deb.
So we had talked about a little while ago, and I had sent you some prompts, and you came back to me with a totally unrelated but yet super hysterical and on-point story that has happened in your life because you were divorced. So there was this great phone call that transpired between almost everybody in your family, it sounds like, and it was sort of like a who's on the first nightmare.
At the same time, yes.
Yeah. So can you tell us all about that?
Well, yes. I have children in college, and we're always talking via cell phone every day. I mean, it's as if they could be in diapers at home. That's how often I speak with them. But I got one call in particular I was talking to my daughter about nothing, and my call waiting beeped, and it was my ex-husband. And I said, oh, it's your dad. And I didn't want to say, it's your dad, but, because I'm nice about it. And she said, oh, he called me like 3 times today. I don't know what his problem is. And I said, yeah, whatever. He probably just wants me to buy new tires for her, which I wouldn't do anyway, so I ignored it. And then my home phone rang, which means, because whenever he tries me on one phone and he doesn't get me, he calls me on the other. And I call out to my husband, it's Wally, don't get it, because that's how we operate with our ex-spouses. We let them leave a message, and then we determine whether or not we want to return it. And generally, we usually just have to email, so we avoid talking to them, and everybody's happy. So anyway, long story short, because it's a very long story, but my son then called, and I said to my daughter, oh, it's Ethan, let me go talk to him, because last time I'd spoken to him, he was having this enormous laundry crisis with the coin-operated machines at school. And so I get on the phone, I say, hi, did you solve your laundry crisis? And he's like, Mom, I'm not an idiot. And I said, oh, you were one 3 hours ago, but you're not anymore? Oh, well, no, I'm fine, but why do you think Dad's calling me all the time? And I said, what's going on? He said, and also I got the weirdest message from Layla, and that's his cousin, and the message was, hey, I heard what's going on, and I hope you're okay, and call me if you can. He said, what do you think that's all about? And I said, I have no idea. But just when I was thinking something's really weird here, the phone call waited again. And as my ex-husband, I thought, ooh, I bet his mother's dead, because she's like 90 years old and she's full speed and half tilt. And I was sure she had driven her Honda Accord into a swamp in Florida and gotten eaten by an alligator. So I felt kind of bad. So I answered the phone, and he gets on the phone and he's like, what's going on? Is Ethan in prison in Canada? And I said, what? Is Ethan in prison in Canada? He said, that's what I asked you. And I said, no, I don't know. You tell me what's going on. And the phone went dead. So I got back on the phone with my son. I said, what's going on? Are you in prison in Canada? He said, did I have a vision? And I said, no, are you in prison? Because I'm not in prison. I'm pooping in college. And I said, well, why do they think you're in prison? He said, I don't know. And I thought, well, maybe he is, and he just doesn't want to tell me because, maybe he's like marching around a detention center in Saskatchewan with Birkenstocks or something. Anyway, I called my ex-husband back, and I asked him what was going on. He said, well, my mother, the 90-year-old, had gotten a phone call from who she thought was my son asking for bail money. It was a scam. It was a huge scam. And I guess she was kind of so daft that she said, Ethan? And the scammer said, yes, Ethan, I need $450. I need you to send me money to get out of prison. And so problem solved. It was just a scam, but the whole time I was laboring under the mistaken notion that my son was in prison in Canada. And so my son then called her afterwards to say, Grandma, I'm not in prison. And she said, well, that's a good thing, darling, because I wasn't going to send you the money anyway. You think I'm insane? Yeah. So that was our, they're a dotty bunch.
You know what, then it comes back to that, you know what, we pretty much all are. We all have like those relatives that you're like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you
can't divorce them.
Yeah, you can't
That's
divorce
right.
them, but it sounds like yours is in pretty good shape. So I want to thank you
I would think
so much.
So.
Everybody
Thank you.
Because she's hysterical. Go to writerblock.com. In case you didn't see, writerblock.com. Julie Curtis, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Deb.